Good morning, soldiers. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite new obsessions in Black Ops 2, the SMR, and some tips to help you perform better with it. So the SMR captured my attention right from the beginning. I saw this on the list of assault rifles and I was like, wait a second, a bullpup battle rifle. That mixes two of my favorite things together. One, a rifle that fires the full-powered rifle cartridge, otherwise known as the 7.62 or the 308. That is a man's gun if you ask me. That is a man's round right there. That puts some serious lead down range. It always gives a nice little kick when you're firing it at the range. And I always have an appreciation for weapons that use that round. And this weapon is also a bullpup weapon, which if you saw my video at the range where I fire the MSAR, which is kind of like the civilian version of the AUG, it was my first time firing a bullpup weapon, and I got real excited. In fact, I referred to it as better than sex, which is maybe a little bit of an exaggeration, but it was so much fun to fire a bullpup weapon. I have a whole new appreciation for that rifle design. And it also perked my interest because what the hell is an SMR? I did a little bit of research on this. I had to find out, what is this weapon that they're putting into this game? And from what I understand, SMR stands for Squad Marksman Rifle, I assume. And this actually is based on a couple different concepts. Now, the general theories on what this weapon is, and the biggest theory right now, the most popular theory, is that this is a converted M14. There's actually a bullpup conversion system made by Juggernaut Tactical that you can drop into an M14 and convert it into a bullpup weapon, and boom, you have what we think is an SMR. But there are a lot of differences. And when you take a closer look at this weapon, it's a lot different than the conversion system that Juggernaut Tactical provides for the M14. So mostly, I think that this is a made-up weapon. When you look on the side here, you see SMI Defense Rifle. And I did a little Google search on that. What the fuck is an SMI defense rifle? And it shows up with nothing. But that's okay. We're used to that. Treyarch and Call of Duty in general takes a lot of liberties with weapons, and sometimes they just kind of create their own, which is cool. It makes me very interested in the weapon. It makes me, want to know more and see what other type of weapons like it are out there. It's what brought me to the RFB made by Keltec. It's what brought me to the Juggernaut Tactical conversion system. So I've enjoyed researching this weapon. I've enjoyed playing with this weapon, and I continue to enjoy playing with this weapon. But let's take a look at the details. Let's take a look at the stats of this weapon in the game. And to do that, we're going to put it up against the only other semi-automatic battle rifle in the game, the FAL. Because that's the magical question here. That's what everybody wants to know, I think, that's watching this video. You're fans of the FAL, and you want to know, is this thing better? When I get up to the level and I take on the SMR, is it going to replace the FAL for me? So let's go ahead and answer that question for you. This thing actually does 50 damage up close, which is not the highest damage in the assault rifle class like it says it is. The FAL is actually the highest damage at 55 damage per shot up close. So it doesn't do the highest damage in the assault rifle class. It also has the worst hip fire in the assault rifle class, and I can feel it. You guys are watching this, and I can feel your hopes drop for this weapon. It also has the slowest reload time and magazine count in the assault rifle class. Uh-oh, this thing isn't looking good. I'm not done yet. It also has the lowest rounds per minute in the assault rifle class, firing at 535 rounds per minute, whereas the FAL can fire at 625 rounds per minute. The select fire also isn't a good option because it's significantly slower than the FAL. So here we have an assault rifle that shoots the slowest, has the lowest magazine count, has the worst hip fire, and doesn't do the most damage in the class like it advertises itself to do. So what is the point of the SMR? What is its saving grace? And I can tell you, it has a really good one. And here it is. Here we're testing the 2-shot kill distance with the FAL versus the SMR. And here we're about to see the furthest distance with the 2-shot kill with the FAL. And this is it. I try and kill him in 2 shots here. Can't do it. That is the furthest distance with the 2-shot kill basically right there with the FAL. So now we're going to switch to the SMR. And we're going to see what the 2-shot kill distance with the SMR is. This seems like a pretty good distance away. Let's check it out here. A 2-shot kill. That's almost twice the distance. Let's back up a little further. Wow. Now we're starting to see the saving grace. While the FAL does more damage up close at 55, the SMR still does 50 damage and carries that maximum damage 3 times further than the FAL. So 2 shots is all you need with 50 damage. So that is its saving grace. That's where it fits in. Look at the tremendous amount of distance between the max damage of the FAL compared to the max damage of the SMR. So that's what we're going to revolve our class around. That is where this weapon fits in. Nearly all of the engagements with this weapon are going to involve that 2-shot kill. And again, that's this weapon's only saving grace. Treyarch made sure to reduce all your other advantages compared to the FAL to get that long 2-shot kill distance. Look at this, I'm farming for headshots. That's another tip for you. If you ever see somebody staying still, go for the headshot. Get that easy headshot whenever you get the opportunity to. But again, guys, that is your saving grace with this weapon, that 2-shot kill. You're going to use everything in your power to make sure that those 2 shots land on target. That's going to be your only advantage, that your only way to increase your time to kill compared to the other weapons. And again, farming for headshots. Anyway, what I recommend to use with this weapon, just like with the FAL in the video that I did on that, you're going to need to use toughness. That's going to keep your bullets on target. You're going to be going against a lot of weapons that have a really high fire rate, and you don't want anything to bring your weapon off target. That's going to be the death of you. If any of your bullets don't hit, you are just not going to match up to any of these other weapons. You need those 2 bullets to hit, and for them to wonder what the hell just happened to them. The other perk that I'm going to highly recommend is for you to use dexterity. So after you sprint, you make sure you get that weapon up quick. For the same reason that I recommend that you use the quick draw handle. That's also a really good attachment to use. Again, you want to get the weapon up quick, and I combine it with the adjustable stock. Now, normally, with the FAL, for example, I would use a laser sight in this case. But since this has the worst hipfire in all the assault rifles, let's not even pretend that we're going to reliably be able to use hipfire on a regular basis. So instead I use the adjustable stock, and whereas with the laser sight, I would just pull up and hip fire and move to the side. Now I'm able to pull up aiming down the sights and move to the side and make sure that my bullets come on target and not try and trust something that is not reliably going to work. The adjustable stock is also really good for those mid-range engagements because you're still going to get that 2-shot kill, but you're able to wiggle around and avoid their fire and just really nail them down with those 2 shots, and again, surprise the hell out of them. Now, I use primary gunfighter as a way to put on a 3rd attachment, and I like to use the reflex sight. It's not something that's completely necessary. The iron sights, I think, are perfectly fine. I just like to put smiley faces and mustaches on the kill cams. So that's just my personal touch on the weapon. But there's a lot of room for flexibility on that 3rd attachment if you choose to take it on. You can go ahead and try and put that laser sight on there. Again, I don't recommend you to use it on a regular basis, but it's there if you want to try and use it. You can use extended clip, which should be called extended magazine, but that's another story. And that may give you some of the breathing room that you need when you're taking on some of these targets and you're firing a little bit too fast. You can use quick reload. Again, there's just a lot of stuff that you can do with this weapon. I'm just going to highly recommend that you use quick draw handle, and I'm going to really recommend that you use adjustable stock. But other than that, this weapon is a little bit of a monster if you really know how to use it right. And plus, it's another one of those weapons that has personality to it. It's not a weapon that you're going to see on a regular basis in multiplayer, and it really puts your own personal touch when you come on top of the leaderboard, and nobody can sit there and say that you're using an overpowered weapon. This weapon does take skill, and I highly recommend it as something to change up the gameplay and to have a lot of fun with. But that's all I have for this video. This is Sergeant Merrell, out here.